This weekend sees the first round of the 2024-2025 FA Cup with 80 clubs from around the EFL and non-league all set to get their competition up and running. Who will go through to match day number 2? Who will go home? We'll get into that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today is all about match day number 1, round 1, over in the 2024-2025 FA Cup. We've got 80 clubs from League 1, League 2, and of course, the lower leagues, all getting ready for this weekend's drama. Can they go through to round 2, or will they go home? We'll get into all of that in a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the Patreons, of course, and a big shout out to the members. You know who you are. The one-stop shop for FA Cup. Blackburn Rovers World Football is right here. So get in amongst it and smash the old subscribe. We've got some absolute cracking games on this weekend's agenda for the FA Cup with some heavyweights including Birmingham. We've got Rotherham United. We've got all the big boys, Bolton Wanderers. All the guys are there, but so are the non-leaguers getting some attention as well. We'll get into all of that, of course, in just a second. We've also got our brand new prediction league. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty then, folks, here we go. It is the FA Cup, and we do have a brand new squeaky clean prediction league. It is 100% free. Here is the link. Use that and get predicting. We'll go through from this first round all the way through to the final. I doubt we'll do any replays in the prediction league, but a draw option is available in the prediction league. So get involved, get started, and see how well you do. Now, we've got 80 clubs, 40 matches in the first round, so we're going to go through these quite quickly, so don't fear not, because it does look a little bit overwhelming, especially for me, and it is 5:02 a.m. stateside. So without further ado, let's get cracking. All right, folks, here we go, kicking us all off with Tamworth up against Huddersfield Town, taking place over at the Lamb Ground. That's right. Now, these two sides are unfamiliar foes, of course, not playing each other in recent times coming into this. So Tamworth, 58% form, of course, back-to-back games without a win. Huddersfield looking pretty good right now under Michael Duff. Tamworth's last match was the loss against Southend. In fact, they haven't scored in the last 2. Huddersfield, of course, back-to-back clean sheets for this. Bookies overwhelmingly, and yes, I would imagine so, going with the league side. That is League 1, Huddersfield Town. 2-1 on for them. Tamworth are 90-4, 7-2 is the draw. There will be some cup upsets this weekend. There will be some draws, of course, but this one ain't it. I'm going to go with a 3-0 in big win for Huddersfield Town on the road. Next up, we go to Notts County as they take on Alfreton. Now, both of these games, this one and the last one, will be taking place this coming Friday, November the 1st. Now, these two sides have played in recent times, since 2012, 7 times. 3 was the Notts County, 1 for Alfreton, and there's been 3 draws between the two sides. Coming into this, though, Notts County unbeaten in the last 4. They got 50% form for them over the last 6. Alfreton just losing once of the last 6, looking pretty good in their respective situations right there. Of course, those 7 games were all friendlies. Alfreton, though, coming into this on the back of a 3-1 win over Rochdale, who are also in this competition. Notts County picking up a 1-0 win over Harrogate Town. The odds, again, going with the league side, who are doing well over in League 2. Got 9-4 on for Notts County, 10-3. The draw, 6-1 is your long shots. Again, no upset here. Notts County squeaking through with a 3-1 win. Next up, we go into Saturday's games, and we're kicking us all off with a trip to the New York Stadium. That's right. It is Rotherham taking on Cheltenham of League 2, so it's an all EFL affair. They played 12 times since 2006. We've got 5 wins for Rotherham, 4 for Cheltenham. That's been 3 draws. Of course, Rotherham not doing that good over in League 1 at the moment. And Steve Evans just 1 win in the last 4, 58% form for them right now. Cheltenham got a bit of form under the belts right now. They're on 58% form for them as well. But the past 4 have been pretty fantastic. Unbeaten in the last 4, picking up 3 wins and a draw to boot. Now, the last time that these two sides did play over at Rotherham, it was in League 1 back in January 2022. Rotherham did the double over them last season with back-to-back clean sheets. Speaking of clean sheets, Rotherham do come into this on the back of a clean sheet, drawn with Stevenage. Cheltenham picking up a win over West Ham United's youngsters in the Football League Trophy. This one will be tight. 50-21 on is your Rotherham. They are favoured. 10-3 is your draw. 30-2 is your Cheltenham. I don't think it's as plain sailing as that. In fact, I'm going to go with just the 1-0 win for Rotherham, but it could easily get dragged into a replay because Rotherham aren't that great at the moment. Next up, we go to all League 2 affair. It is Barrow. It's Doncaster Rovers coming at you on Saturday, November the 2nd. Barrow, of course, just pretty grim stuff right now without a win in the last 5. Their early season form has trickled off. Coming up against Doncaster, who look pretty good right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6, 75% form for them right now. Of course, coming into this. Played 5 times in 2022. 3 wins to Doncaster, 2 for Barrow. No draws at the moment. But the last time they played at this venue was a 3-2 win for Barrow, whose both of their victories victories have come at this venue, which were both in League Two. Barrow, though, drawing back-to-back games against Notts County and Bromley. Doncaster picking up a win on the 29th, just the other day, against Barnsley again in the Football League Trophy. Odds for this, though, we're looking at Barrow 2-1 for the victory, 7-5 is your Doncaster, 11-5 is the draw. Yeah, Barrow running against the grain here right now. They'll be lucky to get this draw, but I'm going to force it into a replay, which probably Doncaster might come through at the end of it. All right, let's go to Worthing now as they take on League Two Morecambe, as I try to find it in the old list here. Worthing, of course, coming into this in pretty good form right now, 83% form, just one defeat in the last 6, pretty good. Up against Morecambe, have got 3 defeats on the spin under Derek Adams, that's right. Never played each other according to my eyes. Worthing now picking up a 2-0 win over Bath this past Tuesday night in their respective domestic league. Back-to-back wins for them. Up against Morecambe side, who did lose a 7-0 throw to Chesterfield on the weekend. Morecambe are favoured for this one, but don't let that swing you. Of course, 11-4 is your Worthing, 10-9 on is your Morecambe, 27-10 is the draw. Morecambe have been a bit ropey of late, and this could be a potential for another shock here. I'm sticking with Morecambe just to get through, but this is a wobbly one and could go either way. Let's go over to the coast now, as it is Exeter taking on Barnet, of course, who were, last time I checked, flying very high over in the Panorama National League. That's right, Exeter on 67% form for them right now, 4 wins of the last 6. Up against Barnet, 4 wins of the last 6 as well, 67% form. Of course, now they are familiar foes as well, played 14 times since 2003. 8 wins for Exeter, 3 for Barnet. There's been 3 draws, of course, with the most recent match at League Two back in December 2017 at this very venue, a 2-1 win for Exeter, who've won 4 on the bloody bounce against them. They picked up a win also against Bristol Rovers this week in the Football League Trophy. Barnet picking up a big win over Rochdale to get back to winning ways. The odds for this one then, Exeter are 6-5 on for the victory, 11-4 is your Barnet, 3-1 is the draw. Again, potential shock on the cards here, and I'm going with it. I'm going to swing for the rafters here. I'm going to go with a Barnet upset. 2-1 win to shock us all and go through to round 2. Go up to the northwest now in is Carlisle United. They're going to be taking on fellow Northwest club, Wigan Athletic, who were just in action against Blackpool this early week. Carlisle, though, grim stuff right now without a win and at least the last 8 games. Because Wigan also in a bit of form, just 1 win in the last 5. They're on 50% form for them right now. They played 3 times since 2023, these 2 clubs. 2 wins for Wigan, nothing for Carlisle, and there's been 1 draw. The last time they played was, in fact, this season, back in October 2024 in the Football League Trophy. Wigan came out on top at this very venue. Now, the last time they played in the league at this venue, it was a 1-1 draw back in August 2023. Carlisle, though, winless in 8. Goodness gracious me. Wigan picking up at 2-2 thriller over at Bloomfield Road. The odds for this one then, Carlisle coming at you 31-10 for the victory, 11-10 on is your Wigan, 5-2 is the draw. This could go in favour of Wigan, but I just got a feeling deep down in my gut Carlisle will show up for this competition and at least this early round and get a cheeky 2-1 win over Northwest rivals Wigan. Let's go over to Brackley Town now as they take on fellow North non-league rival or non-league club Braintree. That's right, as these 2 Lockhorns over at, where do they call it? They call it St James's Park. That's right, now these 2 clubs have played 5 times in 2017. 2 wins for Brackley, 2 for Braintree. There's been 1 draw between the 2 sides. Brackley, though, just 1 defeat in the last 6. In fact, they haven't lost, they haven't won any of the last 10 away matches, have Braintree. We'll get to them in a minute. But just 1 defeat in the last 6 for Brackley. Braintree, 3 defeats on the spin for them. And of course, last time they played each other at this very venue, it was a 2-0 win for Brackley way back in December 2017 in the FA Trophy. Brackley picking up a 1-0 win over South Shields. Braintree losing to Sutton United over in the non-league National League. The odds for this one, Brackley are 6-4 for the victory, 6-4 is your Braintree, 27-10 is the draw. So it's a bit of a coin flip on this one, but I am leaning towards Brackley Town with a big win over Braintree to go through to round 2. Let's go over to high-flying Wycombe Wanderers. They're taking on York. That's right, York City coming over at Adams Park now. Wycombe looking good right now over in League One. Unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. In fact, they haven't lost in the last 6 games. Meanwhile, York, though, also unbeaten in the last 12. That's right, York, though, 83% form for them right now up against Wycombe's 92. They played 8 times since 2012. 4 wins for Wycombe, 1 win for York. 3 draws, of course. The last time they played at this very venue was way back in August 2015. 3-0 win for Wycombe over over in League 2. Wycombe, though, on the back of a win over Leyton Orient, or York picking up a big win over Halifax Town. And I think it must be flying high. I haven't looked at the non-league table, but York look, according to the form book anyway, doing pretty well. 9-1 is your York, 3-1 on is your Wycombe, 50-4 is the draw. Long way to go, perhaps. 3-0 winners, Wycombe taking it through to round 2. Got a Valley Parade as Bradford City. They'll take on Aldershot. That's right, coming at you this coming Saturday as well. Played 14 times since 2008. 6 wins for Bradford, 5 for Aldershot. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. Bradford, though, just one defeat in the last 6. They're on 67% form for them right now. Aldershot, 50% form, winning 2, losing 2, and drawing 2. The last time they played at this very venue, it was in round 1 back in November 2018. It was a replay. Bradford coming out on top with a 4-1 win after penalties. Bradford are unbeaten against Aldershot over the last 6, 3 wins and 3 draws. Of course, but they're coming into it on the back of a defeat, losing to Doncaster. Aldershot losing to Hartlepool, of course, back-to-back games now without a goal. The odds for this, though, Bradford are 50-8 on for the victory, 5-1 is your Aldershot, 31-10 is the draw. I am going 2-1 winners Bradford City to go through to round 2. Let's go to Hednesford Town now as they take on Gainsborough Trinity, a true non-league Bobby Dazzler, coming at you over at Keys Park. That's right, Hednesford coming into this on a good bit of form right now. 67% form for them right now, just one defeat in the last 6. Up against Gainsborough Trinity, 1 defeat in the last 6, also 75% form, but unbeaten in the last 5. Played 10 times these two clubs since 2005. 2 wins for Hednesford, 5 for Gainsborough. There's been 3 draws between the two sides, including the last time they played at Gainsborough, which was the last match they played back in April 2019. The last time they played at this venue was a 2-1 win for Gainsborough as well, who are unbeaten against Hednesford over the last 4, losing just once in the last 6. Gainsborough picking up a 4-1 win over Clitheroe. That is sweet. Hednesford with a big 4-1 win over Gateshead. That is right. The odds right here, right now, we're looking at Hednesford 5-2 for the victory. 20-17 on is your Gainsborough. 10-3 is your draw. So this was a bit of a coin flip for me. I didn't know the origins. I don't know what leagues they were in. So I was a bit all over the place. And I'm going against the grain here. I'm going for a Hednesford Town victory over Gainsborough and sending them out and Hednesford through. Meanwhile, over at the Pirelli, it is Burton Albion. They're going to be taking on, who are they going to be taking on? They're going to be taking on Scarborough Athletic. That's right, coming at you over at the Pirelli. I'm just trying to bloody find it. There it is. Of course, now these two sides have never played each other according to my eyes, but Burton are on really bad bit of form right now. 0% form without a win in the last 11. Against Scarborough, just 1 win, just 2 defeats in the last 6. Of course, they're coming into this on the back of a 1-0 win over Marine. Burton, of course, losing to Cambridge just the other day as well. Bookies for this one, Burton are looking at 25-12 on. They are favoured. 92 is just Scarborough. 4-1 is the draw. This has all the makings of a cup shock here, but I think Burton will grind it out, take to a replay, and who knows what goes on over at Scarborough. Go over to the northwest once again, and it's Tranmere Rovers. They're going to be taking on Oldham. That's right, former Premier League club. Oldham coming at you over at Prenton Park. Played 38 times since 1994. 17 wins for Tranmere, 12 wins for Oldham. There's been 9 draws between two sides. Just 1 win though in the last 4 for Tranmere. They're on 42% form for them right now. Oldham just 1 defeat in the last 6. The last time played at this venue was way back in April 2022. 2-0 winners it was for Tranmere over in League 2. They've won 3 on the bounce against Oldham in all competitions, but they're coming into this on the back of that 3-1 loss to Crewe. Oldham beat Dagenham most recently, and also have the odds of 2-1 for the Oldham. 30-10 is your Tranmere. 12-5 is the draw. Could be a cup shock on my hands here. Go with the Oldham victory to send Tranmere out. Go over to Rochdale now. Former EFL club Rochdale taking on Bromley, coming at you over at Spotlands, around about there anyway, somewhere around about here. Anyway, of course, Rochdale coming into this on a good uptick of form, I believe. If I could just get there. But Bromley not doing the greatest at the moment, just 1 win in the last 6 for Bromley. They're on 50% form for them. Up against Rochdale's also on 58. 2 defeats in the last 6. Played 3 times since 2017. 1 win for Rochdale, 1 for Bromley, and there's been 1 draw. The last time they played at Rochdale was a 2-2 draw way back in August 2023. That was over in the National League. Barnet beating Rochdale recently. Bromley picking up a draw against Barrow. But the odds right here, right now, we're looking at Rochdale 29-20 for the victory, 9-5 is your Bromley, 12-5 is the draw. Again, could be another upset here. Going to go with a Rochdale win at home, as it's a long way to go for Bromley in the FA Cup. Go over to the Bescot now as Walsall take take on Bolton Wanderers of League One. This will be a bit of a ding-dong classic. Walsall were doing good over in League Two. Bolton were on the rise over in League One. Played 9 times since the year 2003. Wins for Walsall, 6 for Bolton, 0 draws. Walsall just 1 defeat in the last 6 up against Bolton. 1 defeat in the last 4. Coming at you last time around at the Bescott 2-1 win it was for Walsall back in December 2020. Walsall on the back of that 0-0 draw against Accrington Stanley. Bolton picking up a big 4-1 win over Stevenage. The odds for this, we have Walsall 14-5 for the victory, 11-10 on is your Bolton, 13-5 is the draw. Gonna go with another shock here. This is my shocking part of my predictions. Gonna go with a 2-1 win for Walsall at home to send Bolton out of the FA Cup at the first attempt. Let's go to Cleethorpes now, aka Grimsby Town. Blundell Park is the venue as they take on the Wealdstone Warriors. Wealdstone, that's right, coming at you this coming Saturday. That's right, Grimsby coming at you 33% form for their manager, just 2 wins of the last 6 up against Wealdstone. 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost 2 and draw 2 over the last 6 as well. Played twice since 2021, 1 win apiece, of course, including a win for Grimsby last time they played at this venue back in January 2022. Grimsby losing to Manchester City's youngsters in the Football League Trophy on penalties this past midweek. Wealdstone only drawing with Ebbsfleet, of course. The odds though, 50-19 on is your Grimsby, 11-2 the Wealdstone, 70-4 with the draw. Not for me though, going to go with a 1-0 win, Grimsby going through to round 2. Let's go over to the Memorial Stadium as Bristol Rovers. They'll be taking on Weston-super-Mare, of course. Now this is going to be an interesting Bobby Dazzler. We've got Bristol Rovers, of course, flying reasonably, not doing the greatest over in League One, up against Weston-super-Mare, who I don't really know too much about, if not anything about. But they are coming into on good bit of form right now. Weston-super-Mare, 92% form for them right now, winning 5 of the last 6. In fact, unbeaten though in the last 15 games, up against Bristol Rovers on just 1 win in the last 5. Played twice since 2016, 2 wins out of 2 for Bristol Rovers. Both of those were friendlies and both of those were at Weston-super-Mare. Bristol Rovers losing to Exeter in the Football League South Trophy this past midweek. Weston-super-Mare with a big 4-1 win over Avery, of course. I'm not too sure what level they're playing at their football at the moment. But the odds here, Bristol Rovers are 50-21 on, with Weston-super-Mare 5-1, 70-4 is the draw. I don't think it's going to be as big as this, but I've gone with a big 4-1 win for Bristol Rovers on their own turf to send Weston-super-Mare, who are unbeaten in a good bit of games, out. But maybe I've overcooked this one, and we'll see this coming weekend. Let's go over to Solihull Moors now as they take on MUFC. Not that one, this one. I'm talking about Maidstone United coming at you this coming weekend. I've got the wrong venue here. Let's try and get that sorted out. How about that? Is that any better? Maybe a little bit better. But anyway, it is Solihull Moors against Maidstone. 8 times they've played since 2016. 6 wins for Solihull, nothing for Maidstone. 2 draws, of course, between 2 sides. Solihull Moors last played Maidstone at this very venue back in March 2023 in the National League. Solihull Moors coming out on top. In fact, they're unbeaten against Maidstone over the last 6, and they haven't conceded a goal in the last 3. Just 1 goal conceded over the last 5. Solihull Moors, though, did lose to Gateshead this past weekend. Maidstone picking up a cheeky 1 win over Hemel Hempstead. The odds here, 13-8 on is your Solihull, 16-5 is the draw, 15-4 is the away win for Maidstone. They will not win this game. 1-0 winner, Solihull Moors going through to round 2. Stockport County next, they're taking on Forest Green Rovers. It's the Vegans. Goodness gracious me, we've missed you, Vegans. Where are you taking me? Bloody hell, get back to Edgeley Park. It's Stockport against Forest Green. Played 6 times since 2011. 3 wins to Stockport, 2 for Forest Green. There's been 1 draw between the 2 sides. Stockport, though, just 1 win in the last 5. Up against 92% for Forest Green, who are unbeaten in the last 6 matches. The last time they played at Stockport, it was a 2-0 win for Stockport back in October 2023. That was in League 2. Stockport picking up a big 4-1 win over Reading most recently. The Vegans drawing with Woking this recent weekend. 4-1 on is your Stockport, 8-1 is your Forest Green, 11-2 is the draw. Going to go with a 3-0 win. Big win for Stockport County to, showcase what they're all about in the FA Cup. Let's hop on over to the Majayski as Reading will entertain Fleetwood Town. That's right. What was last year a League One clash, now it's an FA Cup encounter. Played twice since 23. 1 win for Fleetwood, nothing for Reading, 1 draw, of course. Reading, 67% form for them right now. 1-4 and drawn, 1-4 and lost 2 against Fleetwood Town, who've just won once in the last 6. They last played at Reading. It was a 2-1 win for Fleetwood. Out was in League One back in October 2023. Reading did lose to Stockport, like we just mentioned there. Fleetwood on the back of that 2-2 draw against Salford. But the bookies for this one, they're looking looking at it and they're examining it and they're saying Reading are 11-8 on for the victory. 7-2 is the away win. 27-10 is the draw. For me, I'm going to go with a Reading victory. 2-1 win on their own backyard. This is a quick reminder that this is got Super Brew here, or a prediction league. Of course, we're only halfway through this mega first round of the FA Cup. So don't forget to get your predictions in. Link is on the screen there, also in the description down below. All right, let's get into the next half of the draw. Then it's Stevenage taking on Guiseley. That's right, coming at you this coming Saturday, the 2nd of November. Of course, Stevenage just won win the last 6. They're on 17% form. Up against Guiseley, 67% form. Just one defeat in the last 6 games. Of course, Guiseley drawing with Ilkeston Town most recently. Stevenage losing to Bolton quite heavily, with their last win was a shocking, cheeky 1-0 win over Mansfield Town. The odds, though, they'll give Stevenage the upper hand on this one. 5-1 on for the victory. 7-2 is your Guiseley. 13-2 is the draw. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Stevenage, get back on track and maybe start to get the season moving in the right direction. Let's go over to Rochdale Olympic. That's right, in the neck of the woods of Walsall. That's right, a bit of a local affair. But they're taking on Accrington Stanley. That's coming at you this coming weekend over in the FA Cup. The venue is called what's it called? It's called Dales Lane. Never played each other, these two sides. Rochdale just one win the last 6. Pretty grim stuff for them heading into this FA Cup competition. Up against Stanley on 58% form. Just one defeat in the last 5. Stanley picking up a win over Everton's youngsters in the Football League Trophy. Rochdale losing to Southport in their respective non-league division. The odds for this one, though, Rochdale are 7-2 for the victory. 64 on is your Stanley. 3-1 is the draw. Yeah, I'd love to see Rochdale Olympic go through because I just love that name. But I'm going for it. I'm going balls out on this one. 1-0 win, shocker, big shocker. As we give this FA Cup a bit of life, bit of juice, bit of spark. As Rochdale Olympic go through. Go over to Swindon Town as they take on Colchester United in an all EFL League 2 affair. Played 36 times 2003. 11 wins for Swindon. 17 wins for Colchester. 8 draws between the two sides. 50% form, though, for Swindon without a win in the last 3. They've got Holloway now at their helm. Colchester winless in 6. They played last time at this venue. It was a 2-2 draw back in January 2024. Swindon picking up that draw against Gillingham. Colchester losing to Salford most recently. The odds for this, 8-5 is your Swindon. 8-5 is your Colchester. 12-5 is the draw. They don't know what they're doing. I'm going to go with Swindon. Going to go with Holloway. 2-0 winners over at their own backyard, the county ground. Meanwhile, Salford take on League One Shrewsbury Town. Also coming at you on Saturday, the 2nd of November. Played twice, 2018. Nothing for Salford, 1 for Shrewsbury. 1 draw between the two sides. Salford of League 2, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Shrewsbury, just 1 win in the last 6. Of course, the last time they played, though, at Salford, 3-1 winners. It was for Shrewsbury and was in this competition and was in a replay back in November 2018. The Shrews picking up a 2-0 loss to Barnsley. That was, of course, on the 26th. Salford could only draw with Fleetwood this past weekend. But the odds right here, right now, we're looking at Salford 5-4 for the victory. 2-1 is your Shrewsbury. 12-5 is the draw. Yeah, it could be. It's again a possible upset here with Salford going through, but I'm going to go with Shrewsbury to have enough in the tank to get through to round 2. Let's go over to Gresty Road as Crewe. I've got a bit of a tricky one up against Dagenham and Redbridge. A true FA Cup name in Dagenham and Redbridge. Played 4 times in 2009. Just 1 win for Crewe, 3 for Dagenham, and there's been no draws. Crewe, though, are unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. In fact, they haven't lost any of the last 8 home. Up against Dagenham, who are on 50% form. 1-2 lost 2 and draw 2 over the last 6. The last time they played at Crewe was way back in January 2012 in League 2. Crewe coming out on top with a big 4-1 win. Crewe beating Tranmere as well this weekend. Dagenham losing to Oldham, of course. But the odds right here, right now, Crewe are 10-9 on for the victory. 29-10 is your Dagenham. 13-5 is the draw. Could be an upset, but I'm going to go with a comfortable win in the end for Crewe to go through. What a ding-dong classic we've got over at Port Vale. That's right. As High Flyers Port Vale take on Barnsley of League One. That's right. Darren Moore's Port Vale on 92% form for them right now, winning 5 on the bounce. Against Barnsley on 42% form, just 1 defeat in the last 4. They have played 28 times since 1994. 12 wins for Port Vale, 10 for Barnsley. There's been 6 draws between the two sides. The last time they played over at Port Vale was a 3-2 win for Barnsley. That was back in December. That was on Boxing Day last year, 2023. Barnsley coming out on top. Barnsley have scored 13 goals against Port Vale in the last 3 games combined. Of course, and those were all 3 victories. Vale, though, with a big 3-2 win over Wimbledon up against Barnsley, who did lose to Doncaster in the Football League Trophy this past midweek. The odds for this one, then, we're looking at Port Vale 13-8 for the victory. Barnsley 13-8. 23-10 is the draw. The bookies don't know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to back Darren Moore's Port Vale with an upset 2-1 win, sending Barnsley out. Port Vale going through. Chesterfield next, they're taking on a non-league club as well in Horsham. That's right. Proudly we serve, they say. Taking place over at the SMH Group Stadium. Chesterfield on 67% form for them right now. They are drawing 4 of the last 6, but they are unbeaten in the last 8 matches. Up against Horsham, who are 100% form. They've won 6 on the bounce. And they, of course, coming at Chesterfield this weekend. They did beat Canvey Island, it looks like, this past weekend, the Football Trophy round 1. They also beat Lewis as well. They got what? They got 4 clean sheets on the bounce. Have Horsham. This is going to be a tricky old game here. Chesterfield with a big 5-2 win over Morecambe most recently, scoring goals. They've scored what we're looking at, 9 goals in the last 3 games combined. The odds though for this one, 5-1 on is your Chesterfield, 9-1 is your Horsham, 6-1 is the draw. Form is something. You know what? And if I'd known that beforehand, I probably would give Horsham a bit of hope here. But I'm going big on Chesterfield. They've been scoring goals. But it will be a tricky old game. It could be a 0-0 until like the 60th minute, and then the goals will come for Chesterfield in the end, knocking out Horsham to go out. Let's go to Southend. That's right. Of course, there's Roots Hall, the venue, taking on a Charlton Athletic. Of course, I love seeing some of these names back in the spotlight. Southend taking on Nathan Jones's Charlton. 18 times they've played since 1993. 5 wins for Southend, 10 for Charlton. It's been 3 draws between the 2 sides. Southend, though, with what they're looking at, unbeaten in the last 4. Of course, 3 wins and a draw to boot. Up against Charlton, also on 58% form, unbeaten in the last 5. Now, the last time they played at this venue was a 2-1 win for Charlton back in September 2018. That was in League One. Charlton on the back of that 3-0 win over Chelsea in the Football League Trophy. Southend picking up a 2-0 win over Tamworth. And they're coming into this on 1, 2, 3, 4 clean sheets on the bounce, looking pretty airtight at the moment. 23-10 is your Southend, 11-10 is your Charlton, 12-5 is the draw. I think I might be leaning. There's a potential upset on the cards here for Southend. They could do this, but I am going to back Nathan Jones to go through. Over to Maidenhead as they take on Crawley. That's right, coming at you also Saturday. Maidenhead United up against Crawley Town. Never played each other according to my eyes. Maidenhead on 58% form for them right now. Just 1 win in the last 5. Crawley, just 1 win in the last 6. They're on 17% form for them. Of course, coming into this on the back of a defeat to Northampton Town. Maidenhead losing to Yeovil, of course, this past weekend. 13-5 is your Maidenhead. 10-9 on is your Crawley. 29-10 is the draw. I think I'm going for an upset here. Crawley are a little bit shabby right now. I'm going with a draw, which of course opens up the potential for Maidenhead to win in the second leg. But Crawley will not win it. It'll get dragged to extra time, bonus time, replay, whatever you want to call it, this weekend. Head over to Woking as they take on a resurgent Cambridge United, playing them at the wrong time. That's right, Woking, 33% form for them, and I just want to win in the last 6. I think it's Cambridge United, 3 wins on the bounce. That's right. They played 13 times in 2005, 2 wins for Woking, 9 for Cambridge, 2 draws, of course, with the most recent competitive match at this venue being a 3-0 win for Cambridge back in April 2014. Cambridge on the back of successive wins over Wigan, Stevenage and Burton, and that's 3 clean sheets on the bounce for Cambridge. Big points haul for them. Woking on the back of that would draw against the Vegans most recently. The odds here, 29-10 is your Woking, 10-9 on is your Cambridge, 13-5 is the draw. Playing them at the wrong time right now. Cambridge have got their tails up, and I think they'll continue with another win this weekend. Next up, we have an out of sorts Gillingham up against an out of sorts Blackpool coming at you over at Gillingham. That's right, I played 14 times in 2005. We have 5 wins for Gillingham, 4 for Blackpool. There's been 5 draws between 2 sides. Gillingham, though, winless in 6, of course. Blackpool winless in 5 coming into this game. Last time I played at Gillingham, it was a 2-0 win for the Gills way back in September 2020. That was in League One. The Gillingham, though, on the back of 1-1 draw against Swindon. Blackpool picking up a 2-2 draw against Wigan. The odds for this, though, 31-10 is your Gills, 65 on is your Blackpool. 27-10 is the draw here. Going to go with the Blackpool victory here. 2-0 winners on the road. Big win for them. And hopefully start to turn things around again for Stevie Bruce, whose form has dipped recently in the past few weeks. Next up, we got another non-league doubleheader. When I say doubleheader, I mean 2 clubs coming at you from the non-league. It's, of course, Tunbridge Wells up against, of course, Harborough Town. That's right, Tunbridge Wells coming into this on, not bad bit of form right now. Up against Harborough, a team I've never really heard of, ever. Coming at you this coming weekend. Also, both on identical, similar sort of form, 50% form for them right now. Next up, we have Tunbridge Wells up against Harborough Town, 2 non-league clubs going at it for a spot in round 2. Both coming into this on pretty identical form. That's 50%, won 3 and lost 3 coming at you. Tunbridge losing to Truro City this past midweek, or this past weekend, should we say. Harborough Town losing to Lowestoft. Of course, with both sides looking for a return to winning ways. The bookies are pretty tight on this one. They don't know which way to go. 20-19 on is your Tunbridge. 35 is the Harborough Town. 35 is also the draw here. So it looks like Tunbridge are favoured. I'm going to go with a 0-0. I'm not too sure. Do you? Let me know down below. Next up, we've got Newport County, that's right, taking on Peterborough United, coming to over in Wales. Now, they played just one time since 2013. Newport County picking up just one win in the last 5 up against Peterborough, just one win in the last 4, of course. That one and only match was an EFL knockout match way back in December 2013. Quarterfinals it was. Peterborough coming out on top with a big 3-0 win. Peterborough losing to Bolton this past weekend. Fleetwood could only draw against Fleetwood, but back-to-back clean sheets for them coming at you in this match. The odds for this one, Newport County 5-1 for the victory, 20-11 on is your posh, 3-1 is the draw. Peterborough to go through here quite convincingly, 3-0 winners on the road. Next up, we go to the Sixfields. That's right, Northampton Town take on Kettering. That's coming at you later. Kick-off on the 2nd of November. Played twice in 2007, 1 win apiece. No draws. Northampton on 58% form for them right now. Just one defeat in the last 5. Up against Kettering, just one defeat in the last 6. They're on 83% form for them, of course. Those two matches, like I mentioned, were both friendlies. And, of course, the last match was back in July 2017. It was a 5-3 penalty shootout victory for Kettering, who do come in on the back of a 2-0 win over Starbridge. Northampton losing to Lincoln this past weekend. 3-1 on is your Northampton, 52 is your Kettering, 92 is the draw. Going to be a boring one here, 2-1 win. Northampton Town taking the wow. What a cracker we have on Sunday, November the 3rd. It's MK Dons up against Wimbledon, that's right, for a place in round 2. You couldn't have scripted it. 16 times they have played since 2012. 9 wins for MK Dons, 4 for the Dons. The real deal Dons, 3 draws, of course. MK Dons just 1 win. 1 defeat in the last 6. They've turned it around now under the new regime. That's Scott Lindsay. Up against Wimbledon, just 1 win in the last 4. Joshua Jackson's boys not doing the business at the moment. They've already played this season. It was a 3-0 win for Wimbledon at Wimbledon. However, the last time they played at this venue was a 3-1 win for MK Dons back in January 2024. The Dons, the real ones, losing to Brighton of Albion this past week in the Football League Trophy. MK Dons picking up a win over Grimsby. The odds here, 6-5 is your MK Dons, 2-1 is your Wimbledon, 13-5 is the draw. Yep, sitting on the fence on this one. Going to go with a 1-1 draw. Replay at Plough Lane. Next up, we go Sutton United up against Moneybags FC, and it's Birmingham, and you probably see it on the screen already. I've already revealed it to you, but anyway, they have never played each other, these two sides. Sutton, 50% form for them right now, 1-3, lost 3 over the last 6. Birmingham, unbeaten in the last 5, 75% form for them right now, coming into on the back of a 7-1 win over Fulham over in the Football League Trophy. I need to look at that. Sutton United picking up a win over Braintree, of course, but the odds, they do go over overwhelmingly so. 6-1 is your Sutton, 3-1 on is your Brummies, 9-2 is the draw. Yep, going to go with a 4-0 win. Wimbledon will go through to round 2. Meanwhile, also on Sunday, it's Boreham Wood up against Leyton Orient. A bit of a London affair. This one played 4 times since 2017. 2 was a Boreham Wood, 1 win for Leyton Orient. There's been 1 draw. However, the hosts, without a win in the last 3 up against Leyton Orient. 2 wins of the last 6 matches. Now, the last time they played at Boreham Wood, it was a 1-0 win for Boreham Wood back in December 2018. In fact, the last 2 times they have played at this venue, Boreham Wood have come out on top with both clean sheets. That was in the National Leagues. Leyton Orient losing to Wycombe, of course. Boreham Wood losing to Eastbourne in their non-league division. Of course, the odds for this one's 9-1 is your Boreham Wood, 92 on is your Leyton Orient, 21-4 is the draw. Going to go with maybe a bit of a shock here. Going to go with the draw. Yeah, sitting on the fence somewhat, but I'm looking at that. I might lean towards a big shock with Boreham Wood coming out on top. But we'll see on the night. Meanwhile, Curzon Ashton will take on Mansfield also on Sunday, November the 3rd. They never played each other, these two sides. Curzon Ashton, they've just 1 defeat in the last 6. They're on 83% form for them right now. Up against Mansfield Town, who've got 75% form for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. However, they've won 3 away matches on the bounce. They did pick up a win over Newcastle United's youngsters in the Football League Trophy. 3-0 win as it was. Curzon Ashton with a big 4-0 win over Chester to make it back-to-back clean sheets. The odds for this, though, Curzon Ashton 50-2 for the victory, 50-4 for the draw. 3-1 on is your Mansfield, who are flying high. 2-0 winners for me for the visitors to go through to the second round. Next up is Harrogate Town of League 2 up against Hollywood FC. That is Wrexham. They have played 10 times since 2017. 2 was for Harrogate, 3 for Wrexham. 5 draws between the two sides. Just 1 win, though, in the last 6 for Harrogate Town. Wrexham, though, unbeaten in the last 5, but back-to-back draws. Speaking of draws, the last time they played at these two sides in all competitions, all venues, it was a 0-0 draw at Wrexham. They also, last time they played at this venue, was a 2-2 draw at Harrogate Town. In fact, Harrogate are unbeaten against Wrexham over the last 3 with 1 win and a couple of draws, but they're coming into this on the back of successive defeats and successive games without scoring a goal. Wrexham, though, on the flip side, back-to-back draws, drawn with Huddersfield and Charlton in League 1. The odds here, 90-4 is your Harrogate, 20-11 on is your Wrexham, 29-10 is the draw. I'm going to go with a, what am I going here? I'm going to 3-1 win, Wrexham on the road, into round 2 they go. And then finally, folks, we wrap this sucker up on Monday. It's Chesham up against Lincoln City. That's right, Chesham, non-leaguers, up against Lincoln City. You're doing A-OK with Scarborough at charge. But they're coming at you this coming Monday night. All eyes on this one, that's right. Never played each other, of course. Going to my data, Chesham, no, 5, unbeaten in the last 5, 75% form for them right now. Lincoln, 2 wins, 2 defeats of the last 4. The last match was a 2-1 win over Northampton Town. In fact, it's been back-to-back home wins for them. The last time they were on the road, though, they did lose to Crawley Town. Chesham, though, on the back of a big 3-2 win over Enfield. Of course, they've actually, 4 wins the last 5. The only hiccup was a draw against Weymouth. The odds for this, though, 12-1 is your Chesham, 5-1 on is your Lincoln, 11-2 is the draw. Big bad boy Bobby Dazzler coming at you, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Sorry, it was there. 2-0 win for Lincoln City. That is my picks. That is the link to the prediction league. Get involved, get invested. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. That completes my predictions for round 1 of the FA Cup. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down below. Better still, head over and get your predictions in on the old link to the old prediction league. We'll be back for round 2 at the end of the month, but until then, I'll see you soon for the next one.